Hello, YouTube. Okay, so I'm sorry to get this one out kind of late. I have been very, very busy with school. There is a lot of stuff going on in it right now. Like, I had 4 constructor responses to do one week. Don't know why. 2 of them didn't even relate to what I learned, but apparently they were necessary. It was very, very important to fill out a whole entire 5-paragraph essay about how someone got to a party. Because God knows they couldn't have just drove there. So, yeah. That's what my week's been like. But now we are going to be getting on to the subject at hand, which is Star vs. Evil. There have been 4 episodes out now, so we are going to talk about them. So, the very first one is Goblin Dogs, and in this one, Marco, Star, Ponyhead, and Kelly, she's new, all wait in line to get Goblin Dogs. Why? Because Goblin Dogs are apparently delicious. Because of course they are. So they all wait in this line that has honestly taken them 6 hours. Yeah, I would have just given up on the Goblin Dogs at that point, seeing as, oh, I don't know, 6 hours have gone by, and you've barely moved in this line, but yeah, I guess waiting another 5 days will be totally worth it. So, actually, wait, no, it'll probably take them 5 years. So, they eventually get fed up with him waiting in this very long line and decide to go into the VIP area, which costs Marco $600. For one, why does he carry that around in his pocket? Like, he just carries around $600. Why? Where does he get all this money from? We never see him go to a job or anything. Is this his allowance? If so, how much are his parents paying him? What exactly does he do? Like, I really don't get it. Or is this just some of the money they got off a Star, seeing as she's a princess? Guess that would make sense. So, yeah, Marco was apparently pretty wealthy, but decided to throw it all away because he wants a hot dog. Makes sense. So they eventually get fed up with this line, and they rally together all the other people waiting in line, and they are going to fight the manager. And I gotta say, something really sad happens here. A skeleton dies. Okay. This episode is totally worth it just for that joke. Like, a skeleton dies. Don't question how he's alive. How he even was alive at one point. He just dies. Somehow. Because he wasn't already dead, I guess. I don't know, but it was hilarious. I thought that part was funny. Although, unfortunately, he did not get that much screen time, so we didn't get to know a random skeleton guy with a hat on. So, yeah. The skeleton is now dead. That's a very, very important bit of information. But, eventually, the 4 of them do make it up to the manager in the end, and they eventually decide it's not worth getting Marco $600 back, even though he's just straight up giving it to them. Idiots. Well, actually, no, just Marco. Marco's just the idiot here, because even Star is saying, no, take the money. And even the Goblin is saying, yeah, no, I'm not gonna look down at this money and feel sad. I'm just gonna spend it. Like, that's very true. What point is Marco trying to make here? But whatever point he's trying to make, he leaves the money there because I guess he just doesn't want that $600. if you really wanted to get rid of $600, you could have just given it to me. So they're going home, but it turns out that this was actually a test, and they have now earned their goblin dogs. And the goblin dogs are made in such a magical way. Being put in the microwave! Amazing. So, yeah. They get the goblin dogs, they get high off of them. Seriously, how else can you explain that scene? They got high. There was crack in those hot dogs. There was something in those hot dogs that should have been there. Then we eventually find out that Kelly's boyfriend was her hair. Okay. Well, it's a part of her hair. Why was her boyfriend hair? And why was it sitting on top of her head? I really want to know this. I really want to know why Kelly's boyfriend was her hair and was on top of her head like that. I mean, granted, okay, where else would her hair go? But still, why? He's apparently even vegan, so he had no point in being here. He just wanted to hang out. Yeah, really, that's their explanation. So, yeah. After we find out that Kelly's hair is apparently animate, they all just go home. So, for this episode, it's alright. I don't hate it or anything. I just think that it could have been done a bit better. Like, I kind of wish that they had stayed in the line a little bit longer, because they seem to have gotten fed up with it pretty quick. Like, for what we see, it's only like 5 minutes that they get fed up with it. So, yeah, 5 whole minutes waiting in a line. It's too much for them. Although, granted, in their time it was 6 hours, so I guess that makes more sense. But still, I wish that we might have seen a little bit more of that 6 hours. Like, I've seen waiting in line be hilarious before. Seriously, Adventure Time made that hilarious somehow. So, yeah, I pretty much just kind of wish that they did something like that with it, but they didn't. But for what they did, it was actually pretty okay. I actually did end up liking this episode. For one, the animation is still good. It's still very good. And the trip out scene is very, very insane, but the animation was just awesome during it. It's very, very fluent. I really like that scene. I wish I knew what was going on when it happened, but I liked it. Like, the animation was really good there. And I actually kind of want to see Kelly and Marco talk some more. I wanted to see them hang out. Don't know why, just kind of want to see that happen. Oh, and Star and Ponyhead hang out too, but they're not really the main focus of this episode, so I'm not going to talk about that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I thought of this episode. It was alright. I actually thought it was pretty good. Or at least given how the episodes have been lately, this one was much better than the ones that we've gotten so far this season. So I'm hoping that will continue like that. So, on the next one, we have Ludo is trying to learn how to use his wand. You know, I could have sworn he already knew how to do that. Guess he forgot. So, yeah, he's still trying to learn how to control it. Again, should already know. But enough about him, I guess. Nothing interesting to happen there. But Star is having an argument with Glossaryck. This is where the true excitement comes in. So, yeah. Their argument ends with Glossaryck hiding away in a donut box. Okay. So, now Glossaryck is stuck in a donut box and Star has to make it up to him. The stakes have never been higher. So, in an attempt to make things up with them, even though, well, Marco doesn't even care, but he comes anyway, I don't know why. But in their attempt to make things up, they take Glossaryck to one of the strangest movies I have never seen. Seriously, what is that? I get that they're trying to parody Twilight, because God knows we've never seen that in a cartoon. We Bears. But, yeah. I really want to know now, what was that? Like, for some odd reason they had that girl from it. I forgot her name, I don't care, because I never saw those. That girl, whatever her name is, some giant squid monster. I want to see that now. It's like a vampire and a squid monster. Will their love work out? Oh, and also there's a werewolf somewhere too. So, yeah, you know, something like that. Seriously want to know what happens with that. But alas, we do not find out because the movie isn't helping out Glossaryck. And eventually they just leave. Well, they just cut away from the movie because God knows we don't want to see what happens to this squid lady, vampire, and werewolf. Because that's not interesting. So, yeah. They leave that and decide the next best option will be to throw them in a dumpster. Shockingly, that doesn't work. And it just ends up with, amazingly, the trash man comes. It's shocking. So, yeah, the trash man comes and now Glossaryck is stuck. Because he can't just leave the donut box, even though it's obvious that he's been moved to a garbage truck, but apparently he just doesn't care. So, yeah. They gotta go and epically get him out of a garbage truck. Again, never have there been higher stakes. But things do get a bit harder when Ludo comes back. And now Star is on her own to fight him, because Marco is taking care of the bird and spider that Ludo has. But luckily, Star and Ludo both suck at magic, so their fight is rather anticlimactic. But things get very, very sad when Glossaryck dies. Yeah, he's not dead. So, yeah, Glossaryck's dead. Oh wait, no he isn't. Turns out he had everything planned to the slightest detail, meaning that he could see into the future, so he would know that this event would happen, and didn't decide to just tell them about Ludo. And apparently the only way to beat Ludo was by hiding in a donut box? I don't get it. Okay, so yeah, but eventually this amazing plan has now worked somehow, and Star is able to best Ludo, but Ludo has now found out that there is a book. Dun dun dun. Shouldn't there be quite a few books on magic in this world? I mean, or at least in Muni, where Ludo was. Yeah, remember, he was stuck on Muni. He also apparently got dimensional scissors again, as he was able to come back into this dimension, even though I thought the reason why he couldn't leave the space dimension was because he didn't have any dimensional scissors, but apparently he found some new ones somewhere, and has now been able to go into her dimension, apparently saying never to go look around to see if there's any other books or anyone who can teach him about magic and how to use his wand properly. No, that would just be a dumb idea. No, he's instead gotta just sit around and steal corn. So, yeah, this episode was, I mean, I didn't love it. The overall premise of the episode is something that we've seen before, and they don't really do anything to change it around. The biggest thing that happens in this one is that Ludo has now found out about the book. Cut that out, and there was really no need for this episode. Oh, and also, Marco and Star now know that Ludo's still around. Outside of that, nothing was really needed in this episode. Again, though, the animation is still really good, but I do kind of wish that they had done a little bit more with Ludo's return and finding out, and Star and Marco finding out that Ludo is back and everything. I just kind of wish that that had more weight to it, but they're just like, oh, hey, you're back! Marco kind of annoys Ludo for a bit, and then they just get on to fighting. A lot has changed, so yeah, this episode was alright. Didn't love it, though. It could have been better. Could have been much better. So, then after that one, we go into this week's episodes, which start off with the Capture the Flag episode, whatever that one was called. Alright, so this one starts off with a big royal family gathering, which Star and Marco have been invited to. Why Marco is invited, since he's not of a royal family, I don't know. I guess that Star just had +1. So, yeah, he's there too. Because he really wanted to go to this royal family meeting on Muni where everyone just sits around and eats corn. Because remember, corn is a very, very important part of Muni's economy, so they just waste it on a giant royal gathering. So, yeah, they never exactly say why this gathering is held. Is there any political reason? No. Do they need to work out something? No. Is there a war going on and they're debating whether or not they should get involved? No. They just want to hang out and have a dinner, I guess. Okay, just roll with it, I guess. So, yeah, they're all having this big dinner, but eventually a fight breaks out. So, the two of the families decide to settle this like mature adults by having a deadly game of Capture the Flag. Hey, it's what I would have done. So, yeah, now they're engaged in the deadliest Capture the Flag game ever. What are they gonna do? Go up a mountain. Yay. So, Star wants to participate, but her mom says that she can't go up there, so she acts like every other rebellious teenager and makes a copy of her out of corn. What every other teenager would have done. So, her and Marco enter the games because Star already had a flag on standby. Okay. Don't know where she got that, but I guess that she just made herself a flag for some reason. So, they get into the games and it starts, and it is actually pretty awesome. I really do love this game of Capture the Flag. It looks really fun. Kind of wish that my family get-togethers would go that way. Usually just consists of me sort of just sitting there waiting for something to happen, or for someone that I know to talk to me for like 5 minutes about why I'm not going out and talking to anyone. And I'll just stay there sewing or being on my phone or drawing. I wish that we had a deadly game of Capture the Flag instead. So, yeah, everyone's running up the mountain to get their flag at the top of the hill. So, yeah, eventually we see that this game is apparently changing Star because she's following the rules. So, Marco tells her to maybe calm down a little bit, but she refuses and continues up the mountain, just as her mother finds out that she's up there. And luckily she found it out just when Star's in need of help. so her mom steps in. How convenient. So her and her mom make up, and Marco places a flag at the top of the hill and wins. So yeah, Marco's now the king of this mountain for a year. Cool. So that's pretty much that episode. It was actually pretty good. Now, at first it is very boring with everything at the kids' table, and oh no, they're at the kids' table, this is awful, she just wants to be treated like an adult, and God, I'm so glad this episode didn't stick to that direction. Instead, they decided to take it to going up to the mountain, which I thought was much more fun. They had a lot of fun with everything that's happening on this mountain. It is like a war zone up there, and I love it. Really question why, but nah, I won't want to. So yeah, it is really awesome on top of the mountain and everything, with everyone, with all these royal families just going insane and trying to kill each other. Seriously, a guy gets stuck in a bear trap. He's like half of his body is stuck in there. How is he still alive? So yeah, apparently all the royal families up here are immortal somehow. And they're just sort of running up the mountain because they can. So yeah, I thought that was a really fun idea. They had a lot of fun with the overall idea of capture the flag taken to an extreme. Or sorry, King of the Hill. So yeah, I really did like what they did with that idea. And also, I did like to see a little bit more of Star and her mother bonding. Granted, I would like to have seen more of that because this is something that this show does focus on quite a bit. They always go back to the storyline with Star and her mother and how their feelings for each other are and how it's kind of complicated. I just wish that we had an episode that would go more in depth with that. But overall, this episode was fine. So then after this one, we have Girls' Day Out, which is the last one that came out this week. So in this one, we start with a thrilling normal day at school. Exhilarating. So yeah, Star's at school. It's pretty boring. It's actually kind of like me at school. I just kind of say, yeah, I'm listening. Goes on YouTube and looks up Phaelus or something. So, yeah, they actually kind of did get an accurate depiction of school. I'll give them that. So, eventually, just out of pure boredom, Star makes a very, very bold move. She lets a hamster out of its cage. Dun dun dun. So this gets her sent to detention because letting a hamster out is detention worthy now. So Star ends up in the room with all the other kids from detention, including that girl who likes Marco. Forgot her name. It's not Jackie, I know that. So, I'll just call her Girl for now. So, Star is pretty much able to leave because she has her wand with her. So, yeah, why didn't the teacher that's also a troll? Yeah, that's still being consistent. And no one questions it, just so you know. Everyone's just cool with the troll teacher. But, yeah, why didn't the teacher who's also a troll, who would know about the wand by now, I mean, she's even had it be used on her, why would she not be able to think Star's wand might want to take that away from her? I mean, really, she can just she could just do something like make a window to get out. So she makes a window to try and get out. So, Yeah, she's about ready to leave, but that's until girl decides to make her mayor of detention. Very, very, very important political decision has now been made. So, yeah, Star is now mayor of detention, so that means that she can't leave until she fulfills everyone else's requests. The guy asks for candy, she gets some bubblegum from underneath the table and gives it to him. That's pretty sick. A girl asks for a guillotine and gets a comb. I want more with the girl who wanted a guillotine. Seriously, I need to know that character's backstory. Like, she speaks a different language. I thought that she would just be an emo or something, but no, she's instead like this blood-hungry kid who wanted a guillotine. It's weird. It's very weird. But yeah, she doesn't get what she wanted. And I forgot what girl wanted. So yeah, she wanted something. And now Star is ready to leave until she sees this really sad looking kid in a wheelchair. Okay. No backstory needed on that guy. But yeah, she sees that kid and all he wants is some batteries. So he can power the TV from across the hall, which apparently they can still hear even though their door is closed, which they just sit at the window watching wrestling and stuff on it because this kid in the wheelchair stole a TV remote to be able to activate it. Okay then. So yeah, now Star can't leave because she has a really hard time getting the batteries for this TV, and I don't get why. Like, couldn't she give it couldn't she just, like, slightly electrocute the TV? Actually, wait, no. No, it makes sense why she doesn't do that. She's Star. She sucks at magic, so that makes sense, but why not just create some batteries with, magic? You still have your wand with you, idiot. So yeah, she doesn't decide to do that, because that'd be sensible. Instead, her and Girl just form a very, very complex plan, which I think is supposed to be a reference to Mission Impossible? Okay. To be able to get through the dreaded school, so they can go get the batteries from Oscar. Because, clearly, there's no other person who would have batteries here. So, yeah, everything's going great. They get past the wet floors, which is actually a hilarious scene. They get past the troll teacher. Oh, and also, just so you know, on a side note, Marco's chasing after the hamster, and his arm got stuck in a pipe, and everyone just floods around to see that, for some reason. And it pretty much just ends with Marco having to get firefighter attention so they can cut off the pipe, get out the hamster, and not take his arm out of the pipe. Jerks. So, yeah, it's pretty much Marco's big storyline in this one. So, alright, they continue their plan, but things get difficult. Yeah, really on the edge of my seat there. Will they get the batteries? So yeah, things get difficult when they gotta search for Oscar's spare batteries and don't have that much time left. For the teacher, that's also a troll, which I think is called Miss Sputnik, is about ready to come back into the detention room to check on them. So they eventually find the batteries and they get back to the detention room. Yeah, sorry, I really spoiled that nail-biting suspense for you. I mean, if you were really thinking, oh my god, will they get the batteries in time? Or will they just have to get more detention time? The suspense is killing me. if you were thinking that, then I'm so sorry I spoiled this for you, but were you really that invested? And so, yeah, they get the batteries, and they get back in time to be able to watch wrestling. Star's about ready to leave, but decides to stay because reasons. And they all just sit back and watch wrestling because I guess that they put the batteries in the TV at one point that we didn't see. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. The episode ends. So, what do I think of this one? It's pretty average. Like, this is kind of what most of the episodes in season 2 are like. Trying to take something that's pretty mediocre and trying to make it bigger and have more weight to it and incorporate magic, but it doesn't. It really doesn't for this one. Some of the episodes that I've been through in these two, like the one that I missed last time, I really did wish I got to talk about more because I did like it much more. It was really funny, and it had more of a creative angle with it. But then again, that one took place in the magic world. I noticed this kind of interesting thing. Most of the episodes that take place on Earth aren't really that engaging. I mean, okay, yeah, in season 1 we would get some, like Monster Arm and that football one, but most of the time we don't really get it. So, yeah, usually it's when we're in the other dimension that's more interesting, and that's very evident with this episode, as it's really boring. The whole entire storyline is just, will they get back before the teacher comes in, and will they be able to turn on the TV and watch wrestling? Like, it's not really, like, if you just look at the overall story, it's not that engaging to begin with. There could have been things to do with it, but, like, maybe Star took it to an extreme. Like, okay, yeah, they both already kind of took it to an extreme, but maybe have Star take it much more seriously or something. Like, this is a really important thing that they need to get done or something. But, no, they really don't. It's just sort of them being in the detention room. Everything going on with Marco isn't that engaging, because all that happens is he gets his arm stuck in a pipe. Apparently never gets it out. So, yeah, not really engaging on his end or on Star's. So, for this one, it was pretty passable. You don't really need to see this one. I recommend watching Goblin Dogs and the one with Ludo and the wand, because you can get something out of those. But yeah, for this one, it wasn't that great. But I will say there are some jokes that really do work. Like, there were some jokes in this episode that I found were hilarious. Like, the wet hallway. Can someone please explain that joke? Like, I haven't been in public school since 4th grade. Yeah, I'm homeschooled. I haven't been in public school since I was in 4th grade, so I might have forgotten the big issue with wet floors, but why don't they just walk around them? But, it is very hilarious, and I love that joke. And I love how the guy just sort of sits there tallying how many people slip. Like, why he does that, we don't know. He just likes to tally how many people slip on his wet floor. Because that's how he rolls in the Shire. I don't know. So, yeah, he was hilarious. I want to see more of that guy. Well, granted, I have said that on other shows and didn't really like it, but I want to see more of that guy. I don't care. I'm gonna take my chances. So, yeah, be awesome to see Janitor again. It'd be cool to see him. But yeah, overall, nothing really that great happened with this episode. Just kind of the janitor and that weird guillotine girl that stand out in it. But hey, the guillotine girl was at least funny, so I'll give her that. Also, the flag one was also pretty fun. They had fun with the idea, so that one was good too. So that's pretty much it for these episodes. They're good. Except for some aspects, like, yeah, sure, sometimes with the last one, some jokes will be good, but overall, I don't think it's worth it to see. But, hey, it's fine. If you want to check it out for that joke, then by all means do. That joke was hilarious, and it's worth it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye.